in the world of mental health, there's a certain amount of self-awareness that you need to have in order to decipher, yes, I am ill. And that's something that many people go through without even realizing it. People go through mental illness and sometimes they don't even know that what they're experiencing is mental illness. It took a doctor to tell me that I was depressed before I believed that I was depressed, because I personally felt, I was like, okay, depression, it's that feeling where a girlfriend breaks up with you. And I feel like I've never felt grief like that, so I wouldn't know what depression is. And here my therapist is here, and she's like, you're trying to kill yourself right now. And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm depressed. And she was like, why do you want to kill yourself? And I was saying, oh, I feel like I don't have any hope. I feel lost and scared and alone, and I feel like a lost cause. And I told her that, and she was like, yeah, that kind of sounds like depression. And I was sitting here and I was like, nah, that's not depression. But when it came to opening up to the people around me, they didn't really think that I was the kind of person who would be struggling with mental health. They knew I was a weird kid and I had these fantastical ideas. I've not been having, but I've had a delusion where I believed I had superpowers, where I believed I could control electricity and I could create a perfect cell that cannot be destroyed. That's literally the cure for cancer. I believed those things because my delusional brain, my mentally ill brain, made me believe those things. But the perception of me wasn't that of, oh, he's mentally ill. The perception of me was, oh, he's just a kid with some fantastical ideas who, doesn't actually, who knows that all this is impossible, but he just likes to play around. That's the impression that I gave on people. And I kind of wanted to talk about impressions, because that's what I want to lead into. People with mental illness sometimes don't come out about their mental illness because they're afraid of what other people will think of them, because those people's impression of them is different than who they are. Take me for an example. For a lot of high school, I acted like a complete idiot. I acted like somebody who didn't care about mental health. I acted like somebody who was very rash and honest. I acted like I didn't care about anyone or anything, or how embarrassing I became. I didn't care about how stupid I was being, and I realized that was a flaw. But when I started telling people that I've been struggling with mental health, they look at me and they're thinking, you are not the type to struggle with mental health. And I would be sitting here thinking, oh, yeah, I know, I'm not the type. And people just started treating me different once they found out that I was suffering with mental illness. And that's a big reason why people with mental illness don't even come out about their mental illness. They're afraid of what other people may think about them. They're afraid of what other people may do to judge them. For the last part of my high school year, basically, for the majority of my high school year, I didn't interact with my friends or anything, because I recently learned that they started talking about my mental illness behind my back, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna sit under this tree, read a book, and relax, which is what I did. And I found that it's a lot better to be sitting underneath a tree by yourself, lonely but happy, than being with people who don't care about you and be sad. Be lonely and be sad. And I know what it's like to have somebody's perception of you drastically change, because like I said, I was a stupid kid in high school. I would often do really, really stupid shit, and the people who had high expectations of me were obviously disappointed. But I didn't expect people to go behind my back calling me a psycho killer without my knowledge or know how. That is why I not unfollowed, but I left every group chat that we had, and it's like, you know what? Whatever. They don't like my photos on Instagram. I don't even think they follow me anymore. They don't go on my Twitter. They don't like any of my Twitter. They like to subtweet though. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, I just went on a little tangent about my life, but essentially what I'm trying to say is, if somebody comes out to you about their mental illness, try your best to be uplifting, because it takes a lot to come out about something like that. And I hope you learned something from this video, even though I did ramble for a lot of it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Ahui ho, malama pono.